together this big idea for campaign strategies for you or a possible candidate for the 2016 presidential election. And then there's going to be a take-home final, but the take-home final is going to be a speech manuscript. And depending on who wins the gubernatorial race, whether it's Shaheen or Haley, you'll probably be Haley, I want you to write their inaugural speech for them. And maybe you should just send it to them too when you're done. So that's going to be the final examination. That should be really, really fun and give you some practice with speech writing. I then move on to the grading scale. Please note the grading scale. I haven't done all the gradebook stuff in KC yet, and so if you look at your grade, ignore it until I actually get that stuff done, and I'll tell you when that's done. And you can go to the bulletin so you know exactly what all this stuff means. But really an A is it's just great work, and so B plus, B, etc., on down the line. F is bad, if you didn't know that. So, the details on the assignments. Participation attendance. I will take roll, actually I'm required to take roll every time that we will see each other face to face Tuesday evenings. If you miss 0 or 1 class, you get full credit. So that's missing, you get a free week, basically. If you miss 2, that's 2 weeks of missing, really, because we only see each other face to face once a week. You'll get half of that, so 5% of the 10, or if you want to think about, out of 100, 50. More than 2 weeks, so that's 3 weeks, so that's 3 weeks of school, 3 times, you get a 0 on this. And I do say I make no differentiation between excused and unexcused, and I'm sort of strict on here, but please let me know if you know you can't be there, if your job demands you're at a conference someplace or something wonky happens. Please just let me know. I'm usually very sensitive, although it's so important that you're in class, but at the same time, I'm not a monster, and I understand that life happens. Okay, next thing, a tweet a week. If you're not on Twitter, you need to get on Twitter. It's really easy, and I have some information on here. I will ask you to use a hashtag comm, COMMCC. Basically, you just need to do this about once a week. I tell you on the schedule, the tentative schedule, what weeks you won't have to tweet, but it's really easy. It's tweezy. And I give you that link so you can figure out how to use Twitter. If you have any problems, please let me know. And if you're like, I don't want to be on Twitter, give it a try. It's fun. Tweeting is cool. All the kids are doing it. So basically, I'm just going to ask you. You only have 140 characters for a tweet. I'm going to ask you to tweet something about a political campaign that's going on. I've already have a couple of tweets up there about news that I've seen or an interesting political advertisement that I have seen. But with that hashtag, we'll be able to see each other's tweets. Now, I don't mean this to get in some sort of political debate or anything like that. So we need to respect one another. It's more, offering maybe an educated statement drawing from course content about things that are going on in various political campaigns, whether it's the midterm elections, federal, state election, gubernatorial stuff, Shaheen and Haley stuff. So tweeting once a week, and I tell you when it's due in the schedule and everything like that. And I'm going to grade these twice over the course of the semester. So since it's 10%, 5% between now and midterm, and then 5% between midterm and the end of the semester. And I am asking you to tweet this week, and it's due Sunday, so get on this pretty quickly. This first week, though, it's not for a grade, it's just for practice. But I want to see everybody's tweet. And also, if you could email me your Twitter names and stuff like that. I'm Dr. J. Munsell, Dr. Munsell, so you can find me and follow me. And we can follow one another. If you want to make sure that your thing is private, if you don't want anybody else to see your stuff, it's people in the class or whatever, please just talk to me about setting how to do your privacy settings and everything like that. But again, you probably won't be saying anything terribly controversial or anything like that. So just a way to get you sort of constantly thinking and reflecting and being engaged in the class, but also be engaged in this ongoing dialogue. And then you can read more about it there. Threaded discussion, assignment / collaboration on KC. I'm going to pose almost every week, but not every week. You can see it in the schedule. A forum discussion, and I've already got the forum up. It's if you go to KC and you go to collaboration, which might be on the left side of your screen, and you go to collaboration, you should see weekly forums, and then under weekly forums, you should see week 1 forum. Or week 1 question or something like that. I forget exactly what I called it. But the first question is, why this class? Why do you think this class is important? Why are you taking it? And again, I want more than I was put in this class. I was told to take it, or no, it's not relevant at all. This is stupid. Don't do that. That will make me cry. But basically, it's really easy. You just respond. You just have to respond once a week or once, for every time I offer a question. And then you also need to respond to one other student. So in light of what one student said, you can respond there. These don't have to be long. They can be a paragraph, really, at most. Don't write a book. I don't want to read a book here. These are discussions, and it's just another way for us to constantly keep in contact in a online, non-face-to-face way. And I'll tell you how I grade it and everything like that, and you can look at the sort of the matrix that I have there. But it's just a way to constantly think about things. And it's like we're having a discussion in class, but we're not in class. This is, again, the hybrid part of all this stuff. Next, and I'm on the bottom of page 8 now. I know there's sort of wonky spacing here, but threaded speech analysis collaboration on KC. I will ask you to select 2 famous political speeches over the course of the semester, and the first, so one will be due before midterm time, the other will be due before the end of the semester. And I'll give you, I haven't put the exact assignment, and by the way, I'll have a lot more information about some of these assignments on Koala Connection, so right now what I'm doing is just sort of introducing you to these ideas or to these assignments. But basically I'll give you a format or a template to analyze and reflect on whatever speech you select, so you can evaluate it. Do you think this was an effective speech? Do you think this was not an effective speech? So you're sort of going to critique the speech. So this thread would be a little bit longer than the weekly threads, but not terribly long. If you were thinking about a paper, I would say maybe a couple of pages. Typed, double space, so it doesn't have to be very long, but it should be threaded. And again, I'll say a lot more about that in class and then through the assignment once I write the assignment and put it on Koala Connection. Again, the midterm should be pretty easy. It's going to be old-fashioned, multiple choice, true, false. I'm on the top of page 9 now. But it's going to be open book and everything like that, so it should be, and you have, I'll send it to you like a week before it's due, and so you'll have time to do it. And again, I'm doing that take-home stuff because I hate the online time stuff. The next thing, campaign portfolio paper. This is the big thing. So and this is going to be complicated, so we'll probably have to talk a lot about this in class. But I'm asking you to either work in a group, which would be cool, be fun. Or if you don't want to, if you hate groups, if you hate other people, then you can work on your own. And working in groups can be tough as well, particularly if you end up not liking the person in your group, though we all love one another at Columbia College. Basically, you have a couple of different choices. First, you can pretend as a group that you're like this campaign consultant type of firm or something like that. And you are going to pick a real potential presidential candidate for 2016. Rick Perry, Hillary Clinton, Newt Gingrich, Romney, Paul Ryan, Shaka Khan, Tom Cruise, Ellen, Taylor Swift. Is she 35? I highly doubt it. You have to be 35 to run for President of the United States. So a real person. Or, if you don't want to do that, if you have aspirations yourself to run for office, then you can make your own little plan for you, whether it be mayor of a town, a city council, a superintendent of something or other, a state rep or a state senator or whatever. So you can do this for yourself if that's what you want to do. So you have those two choices. That's what I'm asking you to do. And I'll let you sort of read more about it. I'll go over some of the details here in a second. But basically, what you're going to do is at the end of the semester, you're going to work individually or in a group and have a presentation that lasts about 10 to 15 minutes. And it will follow the outline that I give you in the syllabus. And then along with that, will be do some sort of a portfolio or a paper, something in a folder that is a written out form, written out paper, written out stuff of the things that you say in the presentation. So sort of like a business plan, or it's a campaign plan. It's a portfolio, because in a way, if you're doing the group thing and doing presidential candidates, you are pitching to the powers that be that I want to run your campaign. I am going to make you, Brad Pitt, President of the United States in 2016, or the election in 2016. I will make you. Now, Justin Bieber is a Canadian. He can't run. And he's not 35. I've got Bieber fever. Okay, so, and then a lot of the stuff that you're going to have to use in your portfolio and your presentations, you're drawing obviously from course content. So, I'm very specific here. You're going to have to do a candidate assessment, and I tell you these things that you want to do. You're going to have to survey other people in the class or other people outside of the class to try to get a sense of how people see the candidate or see yourself. So I sort of give you an option of how to do this if you are doing this for yourself, if you want to run for a particular office sometime in the future. So talk about doing surveys and how to do that, assessing the relationship between the news media and the candidate. Media sometimes loves certain candidates, hate other candidates, so there's lots of stuff to go to do there. Conduct your own evaluations of the candidate's strengths and weaknesses as a presidential candidate. Or again, if you're doing this yourself, it would be a little bit different there. But again, I give you very specific things. Campaign vision, explain how you will demonstrate the candidate's ethos or credibility effectively. So I have lots of different things in there. Describe the narrative vision for how the presidential candidacy will appeal on a national level. And then there's tons of stuff in there, and part of this is going to be designing slogans, designing catchphrases for bumper stickers, so you don't have to actually make the bumper stickers. create a policy, a platform